Hi everybody, Paz here. In 2024, we're reeling in our goal of 1,000 subscribers. If you love Perth fishing, please give that button a click. Cheers.
Welcome back to Swan River Snapshots. Last episode, I headed out on the yak at night to target bream in the Canning River. After that, I decided my next SRS challenge would be something a little bit less complicated. I've been regularly fishing the Swan Flats for a few months this season, and I've caught my share of flathead on many lures. As far as lure colours go, I'm a big subscriber to the natural theory. Get my plastics as close to baitfish colour as possible. It's led me to more than a few fish. However, some people say that flathead will smash brightly coloured lures and plastics with as much, if not more, enthusiasm. I know flathead aren't exactly the most choosy fish in the world, but I'm interested in putting this theory to the test. This week's snapshot. Fish for flathead using the brightest plastics and lures in my possession. Will they work? Let's find out. It was an uncharacteristically chilly morning as I headed down to Point Walter. After a few scorching days, the heatwave had finally broken, and I wanted to take full advantage. The tide was very low, so I put off walking the flats for a bit. As an aside, a good rule of thumb for anyone who fishes Point Walter: always have a cast off the jetty, just in case. I only had an hour to fish, so my plan was to fish a bright lure until it caught something, then swap to another. My first lure of choice was a soft plastic prawn. I wanted to get a few in before the blowfish woke up. This particular plastic was neon green in colour, and I was dubious of how it'd go, even in the dark. My last couple of Point Walter flathead came from bloodworm coloured streaks and paddle tails, and according to my footage, they took me about half an hour each from rigging to hookup. It had just turned 4:30 AM when I flicked in the neon prawn, starting my timer. My retrieve was the usual twitch, twitch, pause. The neon prawn was smashed so hard I thought it was a bream at first. A quick check of my watch. Barely 5 minutes had passed. A quick leader lift, and I was admiring a healthy 37cm flathead. It was hooked well too. Needed to be a plier job. Well, there I was, swapping lures almost straight away. My next one was a glittery gold fantail plastic. Apologies, the light doesn't do it justice, but I'm pretty sure I could see this lure from space. As the sun rose, on it went, and out it went, with a restarted timer. I was happy, but still cynical. First one could have been a fluke. 15 minutes later, as daylight came, I had to eat my words. Another size flatty. This one became a donation. Pay it forward. I was stoked. Not only were the brighter colours working, they were outperforming my last couple of sessions using natural coloured lures. I fished a bit longer, but had to leave for family commitments. However, I knew I needed a bigger sample size before I made any judgments. I decided to try during a different time of day, when the fish couldn't hide behind darkness. That time came during the next bloody heatwave, when I headed down to Como Jetty to try my luck. I really wanted to see if brighter colours would work in clear conditions, so I chose the brightest, most unnatural colour I had in my collection. Pretty sure nothing in nature looks like this. I've had highlighters with less colour. On my second cast, my rod went off. However, it became apparent that it wasn't a flathead. Apparently, my pink plastic was irresistible to crabs. Who knew? It was a big fella too. Unfortunately, I hadn't brought an esky, so my session was paused as I made a mad dash to the servo for ice. Fishing this one is never dull. After the crab was stowed safely on ice, I resumed my challenge. Rather than head back to the jetty, I moved on to my next spot. The blowies shredded my first pink plastic, but I was quick with the backup. Under the watchful eye of other fishing species of the feathered kind, I sent out a few casts along some rocks that ran out to the drop-off. After 10 minutes of rock hopping, it happened. The 40cm flathead had inhaled the bright pink minnow. Even in relatively clear water in the middle of the day, the fish had no issues hitting all manner of unnatural colours. What was even more interesting to me was that during this snapshot, the total time of casting for these three fish barely added up to the time spent chasing one with bloodworm colours. While I like keeping my options open, I guess the brighter colours are becoming a bigger part of my regular rotation. Snapshot complete. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Or don't. Either way, I'm still going fishing, and with these new colours, I'll be standing out a lot more. This video is dedicated to my two sons. This is Paz, wishing you fair winds and tight lines. Until next time.